After Kapil Sibal, Ghulam Nabi Azad has delivered a body blow to Congress party. He has resigned from all positions in the grand old party. He wrote a scathing letter to interim party president Sonia Gandhi and levelled massive criticism at Rahul Gandhi, essentially laying a large part of the party's demise blame on his shoulders. One of the big statements Ghulam Nabi Azad made, and I'm quoting him now, "After Rahul Gandhi's entry into the party, our consultative mechanism was demolished. All senior and experienced leaders were sidelined and a new coterie of inexperienced sycophants ran the party." With these scathing remarks, he exited the Congress, a party that he started working with in the 1970s. Now, the big question staring at the grand old party is who is next? And on that note, there's breaking news coming in. Another jolt to the Congress in Jammu and Kashmir. Senior leader and former cabinet minister R.S. Chib has also tendered his resignation from basic membership of the party. 5 Congress MLAs in Jammu and Kashmir submit their resignations, citing support for Ghulam Nabi Azad. Tracking that story, Tejinder Singh Sodhi on the phone line. Also, Pallavi Ghosh will be joining us in a bit. Tejinder, more details. Is the entire Jammu and Kashmir unit of Congress now imploding?
Yes, Arnima, you rightly pointed out. It seems that the split in the Jammu and Kashmir Congress Committee is now wide open. All the loyalists of Ghulam Nabi Azad, they have tendered their resignation. We just got the confirmation from R.S. Chib, who has been a loyalist of Ghulam Nabi Azad and a former cabinet minister in Jammu and Kashmir. He has tendered his resignation in support of Ghulam Nabi Azad. Others who have tendered their resignation is G.M. Saruri. He is also the former vice president of JKPCC and a former cabinet minister, Haji Abdul Rashid. He's a former MOS. He is also a former vice president of the JKPCC. He has also tendered his resignation. Then there is Muhammad Amin Bhatt, ex-MLA. He's also ex-MLC, and he has been the state youth president of the party. He has also tendered his resignation. Ghulam Ahmad Wani, he's a former MLA and now he's the district president of Anantnag. He has also tendered his resignation. Chaudhry Muhammad Akram, he's a former MLA and chairman the ST cell of Jammu and Kashmir Congress Party, has also tendered his resignation. So this is a major blow for the Congress Party in Jammu and Kashmir. The day when Ghulam Nabi Azad tendered his resignation, citing that the sycophants were running the party, the coterie of Rahul Gandhi was running the party, and senior leaders were being humiliated. They were not being consulted by the top leadership of the Congress Party. Ghulam Nabi Azad tendered his resignation, and now these 6 senior leaders who were considered to be as the backbone of Congress Party in Jammu and Kashmir, who were the face of Congress Party in Jammu and Kashmir, have also tendered their resignation in support of Ghulam Nabi Azad. I tried to speak to some of these leaders. They say that not only Ghulam Nabi Azad, but all the senior leaders of the party were being humiliated. Their suggestions were not taken. They were not invited for any decision-making process. So they used to feel humiliated, but they were waiting for Ghulam Nabi Azad to take the final decision. And now that Ghulam Nabi Azad has taken the final decision, so all of them have also decided that they are no longer going to be with the Congress Party, and in support to show their solidarity with Ghulam Nabi Azad, they have also tendered their resignation. Yes, Arunima.
Tejinder, do hold on. I want to bring in Pallavi Ghosh into the conversation as well. Pallavi, clearly the impact is being felt in Jammu and Kashmir. But Ghulam Nabi Azad, the senior face of the Congress Party, moving away on this note. How is this going to play out for Congress in the rest of the country? Pallavi? Okay, I'll try and get back to Pallavi. I think her line is not through yet. But if I still have Tejinder, Tejinder, as far as Jammu and Kashmir politics goes, the big players lately have been the NCP, to some extent, People's Party there as well, with Mehbooba Mufti in charge, and the Bharatiya Janata Party. As far as Congress's stake goes, it has not really been at the center of being a player, so to say, in Jammu and Kashmir. How is Ghulam Nabi Azad's decision to move on? I think he's talking about floating his own political outfit, and these resignations. Overall, in the political landscape of Kashmir and of Jammu, how do you see this?
Arnima, Ghulam Nabi Azad was one of the tallest leader in Jammu and Kashmir. he was well respected across Jammu and Kashmir, across region. He had the one thing which was in favor of Ghulam Nabi Azad was his acceptability both in Jammu region as well as in Kashmir. So though he hailed from Jammu region, but he was well accepted in Kashmir as well. So he had mass fan following across Jammu and Kashmir. And if you see, Arunima, if you see the last elections that were held, Congress always got its own share in electoral votes here in Jammu and Kashmir. They got good number of seats. Though they earlier also they were in coalition with National Conference. At one point in time, they also were in coalition with the People's Democratic Party. If you remember, when Mufti Mohammad Saeed became the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir for the first time, the Congress and PDP, they had a 3-year sharing agreement between each other that both these parties will have a rotational Chief Minister. So Ghulam Nabi Azad had a big fan following across Jammu and Kashmir. He's a known figure across all the 3 regions, even in Ladakh region, which has now become a separate union territory. Ghulam Nabi Azad was a mass leader. The resignation of Ghulam Nabi Azad is going to have a very negative effect as far as the Congress's future in Jammu and Kashmir is concerned. I have been following Ghulam Nabi Azad for past many years. So Ghulam Nabi Azad, wherever he used to go, though he lost elections in 2014, he lost elections to BJP's Dr. Jitendra Singh, but that did not deter Ghulam Nabi Azad, and he always took active part in the state politics as well. Yes, Arunima.
Tejinder, do hold on. I think I have Pallavi back on the line with me. Pallavi, Tejinder was elaborating on the impact of Ghulam Nabi Azad's exit as far as Congress party and its prospects in Jammu, in Kashmir and in Ladakh region is concerned. But does the Congress feel that the impact, the loss will be felt only in this former state? Throughout the country, how are they assessing the damage?
Well, I mean, if you go by the reactions which are coming in from the Congress party, obviously they don't think there's going to be much damage, but then those could be just bravado or brave words. My point is that the Congress party also understands that their political opponents, particularly the BJP, are like to rake this issue up repeatedly, because what is the main point which sticks out of Ghulam Nabi Azad's letter is his complete attack on Rahul Gandhi's style of politics, the fact that he is immature, something which even the BJP has always been saying. So today you have one Congress leader after another, whether it's Mr. Ashok Gehlot, Jairam Ramesh, in fact raising question marks over the credentials of Ghulam Nabi Azad. But the fact remains is when you go out into a political battlefield, this is something which is going to come back to haunt you, because your opponents are going to ask this question that you may be raising questions on us, but your own party leaders don't seem to be trusting you. And there have been several top-notch, many of the high-profile leaders who have quit the Congress, and one thread which is common in all of them is the complete inaccessibility of Rahul Gandhi, the fact that he runs a coterie. I mean, someone like J.V. Shergill told me this a few days back. Hemant Biswa Sarma repeated it today. Jiten Prasad, R.P.N. Singh, Jyotiraditya Scindia, all of them made the point that we may have been close at one point of time, but getting an appointment with Rahul Gandhi is so difficult. What it then does is that the cadre, many of the people who are not so high profile, party workers, they may also get disillusioned, saying that when someone like Ghulam Nabi Azad does not get an appointment or is not spoken to, what chance do we have?
Right, Pallavi, do hold on. We have several reactions come in as far as the story is concerned. Let's listen and then I'm coming back to you.